A man sitting in the desert notices a meteorite falling near him. A couple seconds later, something appears moving towards him. The camels immediately run away. The man takes his time approaching the dust and is killed. In another part of the world, Sheriff Tyson is going to work. Today is his last day on the job. He gets a report of a stolen car. Near the farm, a field is posted and birds are circling at one point. The sheriff decides to go higher up to see an even circle with a black border inside. Kuhn assumes that a drug lab exploded here, but Tyson is sure that's not the case. The circle is too flat. There's a crushed car parked nearby. Just as suddenly, a huge cloud of locusts arrives and the duo huddle on the ground. A little later, they arrive at Daniel. They want information on where Chad and Griffin are missing. Daniel pretends not to know what he's talking about. And then Tyson sets up an interrogation.
In all the wrong places. The boys just hated both sides of the Mississippi.
At night, he returns to the crater. He asks God to show him what happened here. In the field, someone starts running. The sheriff is distracted, and something black stabs him in the head, while in the sky, an alien object flies by. Meanwhile in New York, Syrian refugee Anish is cooking breakfast for her family, consisting of Luke, Sarah, and Ahmed. During the lesson, all the children get nosebleeds. They are taken to the hospital. Anish tries to understand what happened. The man says that Luke is the only one who didn't get a nosebleed. Closer to nightfall, all the power goes out for a few seconds. The family looks on the tracker that their father is somewhere far away. Anish tries to call him, but he doesn't pick up. Anish arrives at the address at the worst possible moment for Ahmed. When she returns home, she tries to find out who owns the house. The girl's name is Amanda, and to keep up with her Instagram, likes the photo. Late at night, Ahmed returns home. Anish has prepared a dish with a photo, adding that she found this recipe from a girl and gives her name. Ahmed doesn't know what to say. That's when Anish confesses that she saw them together. Suddenly there is an earthquake and the lights go out. On the second floor, someone very heavy starts walking. The duo runs to the children, and in the window they see a destroyed house. And in Tokyo lives Mirai. She and 2 other astronauts are sent to ISS. An employee of the Japanese Space Department, Mitsuki Imatu, is taken to Mirai so that she can make a quick diagnosis of the space shuttle. The takeoff was successful. During the data collection, the hull of the ship tears, taking the astronauts into outer space. But Mirai manages to grab onto a beam. The family goes down to the basement. Ahmed tries to call 911, but the connection doesn't work. Anish wants to see what happened to their neighbors, but Ahmed asks not to risk it. He himself goes to the street. There's a real panic going on. Someone heard an explosion, and some of the neighbors decided to leave. Only Ahmed's house remains completely untouched. As soon as Anish went outside, the children started calling for help. The duo runs back inside. Luke yells that he hears something, and when the lights came back, the humming stopped. He wonders if Anish heard the voice, repeating the same word to Waju. Ahmed leaves to call 911, but he didn't realize that the house phone is connected to other phones and Anish, listening to him talking to Amanda.
Don't touch him.
The family tries to leave, but their car doesn't work. Ahmed asks the neighbors to pick up only him, but Anish doesn't understand how he can leave his family. With the help of a mobile control, manages to start the car. In London, Casper is harassed by a bully. After class, Jamelia makes fun of the bully, and the whole class starts laughing. A little later, everyone's cell phones start glitching. The bus crashes into something, and Casper drops his notebook. Jamelia picks it up and looks at the drawings. One of the characters looks a lot like her. She likes the drawings and suggests that they listen to music together. After a couple minutes, Casper gets sick, and meteorites start falling in front of the bus. The driver loses control, and they drive into a hole. Mitsuki is called to headquarters. None of the employees know what happened. Mitsuki assumes that the space debris destroyed a satellite. However, the man says that NASA and Roscosmos satellites have also stopped signaling. The automatic distress signal comes on. It was sent 3 hours ago, but due to a strange delay, the message has only come through now. Mitsuki manages to connect to the cameras, and everyone sees that the astronauts have disappeared. The whole world is told of the tragedy, and all the astronauts are labeled dead. In an attempt to forget himself, Mitsuki gets drunk and begins to see Mirai, but it was just a hallucination. At a US military base, Cole is resting with other soldiers. They are given orders to explore the area. An entire squad has lost contact, and they must find out what happened. The streets of the city are completely deserted. All electronics are interfering. They manage to find a few residents who are clearly very frightened. The translator realizes that their unit must be near a school. There, a boy draws a circle and points to the sky. Cole goes to the hole in the wall and sees a column of dust near the town. Near that point, manages to find a walkie-talkie. A noise is transmitted over the headphones, forcing the soldiers to turn them off. As the storm begins, some of the soldiers lose consciousness. Others find the alien device. The soldiers open fire, but their weapons are unable to harm the device, and they are all enveloped in a shockwave. After a while, Cole regains consciousness. He can't see the other survivors, and the electronics in their car are no longer functioning properly. After catching his breath, he plans to return to the base. But because of his wounds and dehydration, he falls to the ground. His girlfriend Rose appears before his eyes. After a while, a local man approaches him. He gives him his water, and Cole passes out again. Cole regains consciousness closer to nightfall. The man helped to treat his wounds. He points to the sky where 3 stars are lined up. He calls it Orion. Anish is about to get away from the city, but the roads are jammed with people just like Anish, as the power in the whole city starts to go out again. In the morning, US Army fighter jets start flying over the city. The authorities say that something strange is happening all over the world. For the family's survival, Anish steals someone else's gasoline-powered car. Toward nightfall, the family stays at a motel. All the electronics malfunction again. You can make out a word in the static, but Anish changes the channel. Mr. Ray is badly injured, and the bus itself has fallen into a big hole. The students try to administer first aid. The bullies take away all the food and order Casper to climb down, but they don't notice something watching them from far away. Bully Monty is chosen as the new leader. He doesn't want to say goodbye to his new power, so he puts out the fire, the smoke from which should have attracted the rescuers. Mitsuki asks to be let into the communication center, and then she will understand why the connection was lost for 3 hours. The boss refuses, so Mitsuki steals the access key and locks herself in the server room. All the video files are encrypted, so you'll have to watch the whole thing. At the moment of the crash, a noise is clearly audible. When you make out the static, you can hear the word Waju. Luke shows Sarah a piece he found on the day of the explosion. In the morning, the military declares an emergency. All residents must evacuate. There will be military checkpoints along the road for the safety of the residents. While Ahmed is chatting with a soldier, Anish goes through the pictures in his phone and learns that Amanda is going to have a new addition. A little later, Luke asks to stop the car to go to the bathroom, and while the adults were arguing, Luke is missing.
Luke! We're both sorry!
Until late at night, they searched for their son and came to a small settlement. Coincidentally, this is also where Luke came. That night, Ray died. The apprentice wants to try to get out, but Monty orders to wait for help. Casper, however, climbs up. Seeing that he succeeded, the other students follow him. At the top lay the wreckage of the Russian satellite. One of the drawings was an exact copy of the name of the Russian satellite. At first light, Cole went after the man. Cole notices the signal of a soldier from his squad. Cole ran to his partner. The dot led him to the basement of the hospital where his belongings lay. Locals found the soldier and helped him.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
They opened fire from above. The rebels try to go down into the basement, but Cole kills them and runs to his partner. While behind, the rebels are attacked by aliens. The partner doesn't survive, and Cole steals the rebels' car. Mitsuki tells them about the find, but the superiors still stand on the theory that the station was destroyed by space debris. Mitsuki goes to Mirai's father's house and turns on Waju's tape. He used to be the head of the space organization, so he tunes the recording to a different frequency. The sand and the pottery lines up in a clear pattern, and the man asks to be taken to a more powerful speaker. After a while, Cole returns to the base, but all the military personnel have disappeared. He tries to contact the higher-ups, but no one answers. Cole finds a document that says the base was attacked by an unidentified object. The creature is aggressive. For the next few hours, he buries his friend. In the morning, the owners of the house offer to find supplies. Anish is ready to go to the store and pay for their shelter. A military man enters the store and, since she's a doctor, offers to go with them. And when they finish their work, they will take her back. To learn something new, Anish agrees to help. When she arrives at the camp, Anish is given a medical gown, and she sees people who have suffered an unknown attack. One of the injured had unknown crystals, and once the foreign object left the body, the physical signs stabilized. The apprentice finds an abandoned car completely stuffed with food. However, Casper wants to understand where the driver disappeared to. In the driver's place, there is a hole with crystals trying to touch the man. Kaf adjusts the radio, and everyone hears strange noises. Mitsuki returns to the base. The warden decides to reveal that she wasn't the only one who heard the word Waju. All of these people are not from the government. They are the best linguists in the country who are trying to decipher the word. Mitsuki doesn't understand why he's hiding it. According to science, there can't be sound in space, which is why no one understands the nature of the Waju sound. The most logical explanation is aliens. Before he leaves, the warden gives away a piece of access from every door. A message from the President of the United States starts playing around the world. She says humans are not alone in the universe. What's happening on Earth is not of an earthly nature, but they don't know who their enemy is yet. Only by working together, regardless of the flag, can the people survive. Some of the medics are being rounded up to take them to a new location. Anish asks them to stop the car and they run to their family. After a while, she finds the twisted body of a soldier, and a couple of meters away from him, a whole destroyed column of military men. Anish takes one gun. She returns home but finds no one. An alien starts approaching the house. Anish loses the gun and hides in the attic where her family was sitting. The woman fears the aliens will take them for experiments. Anish wants to try to leave. The man asks to be quiet, as suddenly the girl flops down and starts screaming. Anisha jumps after her daughter. The alien comes to the sound. Out of fright, the woman falls through and is destroyed. Ahmed along with Luke, slowly they go down. Anish notices that the alien is standing in the next room. She tries to tell Ahmed about it, but he is attacked. Anish grabs a gun and the trio escapes through the basement. The homeowner is still alive and tries to destroy the monster, but the alien was much faster, after which it punches through the windshield. Anish opens fire, but the bullets don't do much damage. She tries to attack the aliens with whatever is at hand. Only a meteorite fragment completely destroys the alien. She spots Ahmed coming out of the house and helps him into the car. Anish asks Luke where he got it, but he doesn't know. Ahmed passes out. Anish puts in a breathing tube, and Ahmed regains consciousness. He is grateful to her for saving his life. A little later, the family stops at a cafe, and Anish cooks a meal, after which the family makes it to the shelter. The sergeant gives the family's medics VIP compacts. The next day, Cole arrives at the village. The aliens have already walked through here. A civilian says that he personally saw the US Army, along with a coalition of Germans and Brits, completely wiped out. Even tanks couldn't kill the monsters. Cole doesn't believe it. There must be over 1,000 military personnel on the base. A man gives Cole food and asks him to go to the town. There must be airplanes there. It's 300 kilometers from here. Thanks to the car, it's 2 hours to the town. This town too is deserted. The last rescue plane left. Cole takes advantage of the fact that he's US military and orders that he and the aide's family be given a place to stay. The man is thanked for his help. The students reach the town from where the inhabitants have already disappeared. A car appears on the road. They ask the woman to take them home, but she won't go back. It's hell out there. The woman tells them they've been attacked by aliens, and it's happening all over the world. Anyway, she takes them back to town. The students go home to find out where their parents are. Casper and Jamelia hear the aliens. They hide around a corner, and as soon as a shot is fired, the alien runs to attack. A black spot is left where the alien was sitting. Mitsuki arrives at the research base at night to make contact with the aliens with the help of a huge transmitter. And since Mitsuki now has unrestricted access, she turns on the local employees to record. She wants to find out exactly where the signal came from and send the aliens her own signal. They're picking up cluster frequencies, and while one hears ordinary noise, Mitsuki's sure it's the voices of 1 billion beings sounding simultaneously. What if it's not a broadcast, but some kind of network controlled by a supercomputer? some kind of collective intelligence. Among these voices, there must be the most important one. One of the sounds has a single connection. Focusing on the sound, Mitsuki realizes it's their shuttle's action signal. But before they can point the saucer at them, they are stopped by the Japanese government. A short time later, the plane lands at one of the coalition bases located in Britain. A sergeant tells Cole that the planes will no longer fly to the US. The air control systems no longer work, but he is allowed to leave the base to return to the US by boat. As he walks through the city, he finds evidence of an alien attack. The entire city is shrouded in smoke. Cole dials the girl, but an autoresponder answers. She says they're being chased away and she doesn't know where they'll be sent. Walking around the camp, Luke meets Jack. He tells him that there is a place in the camp where other people are not allowed to go. After the last attack, they have almost no medical supplies left, but the man is sure that Anish will think of a way for them to survive, after which they kiss. The boys make their way into a locked building. The bodies after the alien attack are stored there. Luke holds a piece of meteorite to the body, and the black slurry starts to blur. Mitsuki asks to let her finish the job, but the soldiers won't listen to her. A couple minutes later, Hashimoto enters. They have been given the coordinates of the geostationary orbit. Mitsuki says that something is holding their astronauts. Mitsuki is only willing to help if they let her make contact. The US soldier has to agree. A communication channel is opened, which means they should now be heard. Mitsuki decides to transmit Mirai's personal videos converted to alien frequencies, so they can see who the humans are. A moment later, the base picked up the response in the form of Waju's word. Mitsuki came to her senses, and as soon as she saw the video, she started saying Waju.
Waju.
The duo arrives at Casper's house, but the aliens have already been there. Casper says that he can stop the aliens. He has seen the aliens and a companion for a long time. Every time he sees the darkness, he feels something behind the darkness. Casper thought it was a disease that made him take pills. Now this darkness is on the ground, and when he has a seizure, he can talk to them. When they go outside, they see the military attacking the alien. Once inside, they run into Cole. They convince him to help them.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Mitsuki and Mirai manage to find a common wave. Mirai asks for her team's help. The soldiers think it's a trap. What if it's not an astronaut talking to her, but an alien? They're going to use the coordinates for a nuclear strike. The scientist discovers that Mirai's voice doesn't conform to human communication norms. It's impossible to inhale without changing the rhythm of the promise. The trio makes it to the hospital. They ask the neurologist to induce a seizure. The doctor refuses, but Cole convinces her to help them. During the seizure, Casper starts seeing visions and speaks words to Tayo, Waju, Mitsuki. The medic says she's never seen results like this before. It's like he's catching someone's signal. An alien begins to approach the hospital. Casper has learned to see through the alien's eyes. They have come just for him. Cole tries to burn the monster, but Casper begins to feel the same pain. Cole manages to win, but another alien comes out from around the corner. He asks the duo to run on, but the enemies turn out to be too many, and they are driven into a dead end. They are all inside Casper's head, and he is inside theirs, because of which the UME manages to make them freeze in one place. But Casper himself is no longer showing signs of life. The military is analyzing the samples. No acid can harm the aliens, but when a piece of debris is nearby, the acid begins to destroy the alien structure. The soldiers are going to move Anish's family to a safer location, the Pentagon. During the trip, they are attacked by locals. The soldiers return fire. The villagers burst a tire and the car flips over. The family escapes through a manhole into the woods. The bandits follow them. Ahmed asks the family to run on, and he will try to talk to them. A few minutes later, they hear a gunshot. The family runs out into a field completely infested with aliens. Anish uses the rubble to get through the field, while there is a bright flash in the sky. Cole takes Casper back to the office, but the brain has no more activity. Jamelia says Casper saved everything, but Cole thinks it was the nukes that saved them. Before she leaves, she hands back Casper's journal. All the residents start celebrating the victory, and Cole is interrogated by an agent. The agent reveals that the aliens were trying to terraform the planet. Having completed the interrogation, he was put on a plane home. After a time, a huge alien building was found in Brazil. Soldiers went inside, and the walls began to move. During the night, the aurora borealis appeared in the sky, and Casper opened his eyes. Outside the door was darkness, and Father Mirai, he had a gift for Casper, a compass that would show the gravity of the world. At this time, a huge alien ship approaches the planet, signaling a new attack. But that's about it in the second part of the video. Write in the comments how much you want a sequel. We'll be right back. Bye.